Hi, my name is John Kim, and I'm a therapist who went through his own rebirth. I share my feelings and revelations. I believe in casual over clinical and with you instead of at you. I come unrehearsed on purpose because self help doesn't have to be so complicated. You know what I don't understand, which boggles my mind? People who don't like pizza. They exist. I've met them. Now, I get it if you don't like sushi. I could eat sushi every day, but there's some people who just don't like raw fish. I get it. That's understandable. But if you don't like hot dough with melted cheese and marinara sauce in your mouth, I don't understand you. And it's almost like it's not even a preference thing, or it's not. It's like I don't understand you. I can't comprehend why you don't like that. So it makes me not trust you, and it's going to be hard to be your friend. All right, let's talk about a universal law that I believe in because I've experienced it so many times, and um, I hope I could get this in about 15 minutes. We'll see, but it has to do with this whole concept of attracting versus chasing, which I talk about a lot, and I've been obsessed with it. I really believe in it, and I believe in it because I've like felt it in my own life. So it's not like I learned about it or I watched videos or took a course. It's like directly from my own life and personal experiences. So here's the universal law I believe in. If you want something, and it doesn't matter what it is, if you want something really bad, like all of us do, right? So it doesn't matter if what you want is a relationship, or maybe a healthy relationship, or to find someone, or maybe it's to build an empire, or maybe it's to get the corner office, or the deal, or the I don't know, the Maserati, whatever it is that you want. If that desire, that want is greater than your stance or your sense of self, where what you want starts to strip away at your worth or who you believe that you are, if you're willing to exchange your truth for membership, if you are willing to um, sacrifice your integrity, where you're going, your sense of self, because of this want, then it will not come. And I say this because half of my life in my 20s and 30s, I wanted things so bad because I thought if I got those things, I would be happy, that I allowed that desire and that want to um, rattle me, to strip my sense of self. That want was so lined with desperation that I became invisible, or I allowed myself to become invisible, and I would do anything, things that made me feel gross, like lying or being fake or pulling from what I call my pseudo self, right? Be inauthentic to acquire these wants. And I've made promises I've broken, things that line up with my character, right? So I've come very close to a lot of things in the past, projects and things that I wanted, etc. But I think they didn't happen because um, I sacrificed who I was to try to get those things. And so I think what happens is you lower your frequency. I think you go from an attracting state to a chasing state. And whenever you are in a chasing state, you are pulling from your pseudo self, and you are willing to exchange your character for this thing, And I think that's why things don't happen. And it's a good thing. It's a good reason why things don't happen, because it's a universe telling you to check yourself, And I think that if you instead pull from an attracting state, meaning if you acknowledge your wants and desires, and you could have them and as many as you want, and they can change, right? And I still want a lot of the same things that I wanted 20 years ago, and that's totally okay. But the difference is I'm not willing to lose who I am, right? I'm not so desperate these days for those wants that I'm willing to sacrifice integrity, character, things that I have to look at and live with, right? And so I'm not willing to feel gross anymore. I'm not willing to be invisible. I'm not willing to not be heard. And so I think when you pull from that place, I think when you start to practice that and want things and work your ass off for things, right? Because of course it requires work. You're not just at home crossing your fingers and hoping. Um, you are putting action behind your desires and you are running towards your dreams as a lifestyle, meaning every day building it, running toward it. Um, then things do come. The like when you're maneuvering at a higher frequency, because that's what happens, and now you're pulling from what is honest to you, your solid self, working in a way that's honest to you. So you're being creative and unique and distinctive, right? You are finding your voice. You are taking risks. You are being courageous. You are showing yourself. When you do all that, you start maneuvering at a higher frequency. And I think this is where we get traction in life. And I think this is when we start attracting, and it doesn't matter if it's certain people or, certain opportunities. Things just kind of appear magically and seamlessly. That's what I find. And you finally start getting what you want.
We'll be right back after this brief message.
If you're like me and you know you need to meditate, but you just can't get it into your daily life, I have the solution for you. Simple Habit. They're an app, and what makes them different is they have hundreds of experts doing all different forms of meditation. So it's not just one platform with one expert doing one type of meditation. They even have very specific meditations to your life problems. So for example, if you're nervous about a big meeting, or if you want, meditations about parenting issues. They have very niche meditations, which makes it really powerful. Finally, they have short meditations that can be consumed in like 5 minutes. So it's like what I do, right, in a shot glass. These guys do that for meditations, and I think that's what makes them very powerful and practical, and it's what's gonna get you to thread it into your life. So go to simplehabit.com/angry and you will get 30% off their premium subscription. And this is only for the first 50 listeners. Now, when you get the premium subscription, you get access to thousands of meditations. Go to simplehabit.com/angry and get 30% off their premium subscription for the first 50 listeners. Go get your calm on. Now, here's the kicker. It usually isn't going to come in the form that you thought. So, you're gonna if you start to practice being in an attracting state for a long time, and I don't know how long, I don't have that answer, but as long as you do so, eventually, you'll start to swim toward your island, and things will start to happen and line up. But they may not necessarily look the way that you imagined. Meaning, you will wake up one day and realize, oh shit, I actually accomplished something, or I actually am in a healthy relationship, or actually finally got the deal, or the house, or the whatever it is that you want. But it's actually not what I imagined, but it's still there, and I actually think there's beauty in that, because like for me, it makes me believe and trust the universe. It makes me believe that there's something greater happening that is guiding me and giving me what I need for me to move on to the next level. If you only get what you want and it's very specific and it comes exactly how you intended for it to come, I don't know. There's just less poetry in that. There's less beauty in that for me. Now that being said, of course, I think some things can come and it's exactly what you imagine. I do believe in visualization, and I do believe in not only visualizing and seeing, but actually feeling and walking into that vision as if it's already happened. So I do think there's power in that, and I do think that yes, you can get something that you have seen and know is coming. I believe in all that magic, if you want to call it magic. But overall, I think that things come to us unexpected. Well, not unexpected, but when we kind of least expected, and they come to us and they unfold in ways that we didn't imagine. But only if you are in an attracting state, but only if you are not willing to lose your sense of self, because I believe that our potency and the plane that we maneuver on that is the highest and that is at our potential is when we are our authentic selves, when we are allowing ourselves to be heard, when we are expressing our own unique creativity and allowing ourselves to be ourselves across the board and everything. So not just with business, but with your in your relationships, in your friendships, just in all parts of your life. And I think that it all overlaps. And I think that as we start to attract and we get comfortable in being uniquely ourselves, that's when we start to get traction. That's when things start to tip. That's when dreams come true. That's when we become fearless. And I do think there's a tipping point where it becomes bigger than you. And I also think that that's when you start to accept your story. I think that's when you could look back and start connecting dots and see, oh, that's why I went through that shit. Oh, that's why I went through the toxic relationship. Oh, that's why I got fired, because I wouldn't be here if all those other things didn't happen. And I think there's such power in that process of looking back and connecting the dots and seeing the power in your story. Because when you see that and then you realize things happen for a reason and you have been repositioned, or maybe you have now new tools, or you've got learning or revelations that is preparing you for your next level, your next journey, all of that. So here's the focus. Focus on your state. Focus on if you are being a false version of yourself, instead of just focusing on what you want. Because if you just focus on what you want, it's easy to lose yourself, right? It's easy to also get into lopsided relationships where you are walking on eggshells and doing and sacrificing things and about yourself that you wish you hadn't, and all of that. So instead of focusing on what you want, focus on being at a higher frequency, focus on being authentically you, focus on what it looks like to be the best, most honest version of yourself. And when you do so for long enough, things will start to happen. Guys, if you're not getting my text, go to my website, theangrytherapist.com, or click on my Instagram bio link and you will receive my text. This is my new joy in life, texting people 5 days a week, straight from me. And then, of course, at the end of the week, I give you a private link to a Google Doc that takes you deeper. So I hope to meet you in your phone. Thank you for listening. Be well. Hey, before you go, if you like my ramblings and revelations and shares, I am now texting people directly to their phone. Just go to my website, theangrytherapist.com, if you want to subscribe. I'll be doing weekly text 5 days a week, reminders, and also mindsets and exercises and challenges. And every week there will be a different theme, a different topic. So I hope to see you in your phone. And also, if you enjoy this conversation, I hope you help me spread the dialogue and help other people by sharing it. You never know what people need to hear. So if it's helped you, I hope you can help me help others. Thank you. Hey, if you have a passion to help others and want to become a life coach, or you just want to acquire tools to change your own life, learn more about our Catalyst Life Coaching Intensive. We are an evidence-based training program with an amazing, authentic, vibrant community, and we give lifetime support. Just go to my website, theangrytherapist.com, and click on Life Coach Training.